Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your love and romance reading for November 2022. Happy birthday to the Sagittariuses who are kicking off Sagittarius season at the end of the month. Sorry about that. Happy birthday to the Sagittariuses who are kicking off Sagittarius season at the end of the month. We're going to see what messages are coming up here for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus as we're focusing on love and romance. I'm setting the intention here for November or labeling it for November, but really you're going to see it whenever you're meant to hear the messages. Keep in mind this is a general reading for the collective. Not every single message is going to resonate, and that's okay. Take what does, leave what doesn't. So without further ado, my dears and my darlings, we're going to connect and see what messages we have coming up. First card coming up here for the Sagittarius Collective is the King of Swords. You all could be dealing with an air sign person, a Libra, an Aquarius, or a Gemini. If you have air sign placements, you may be looking at these houses or these areas of your life and how they may be affecting your love life, or maybe avenues to meeting someone if you're single. King of Swords is a card that can come up in my readings when it's time to talk and figure things out. Like it's time to make sure that you're on the same page. But King of Swords is like the master of negotiation and is really good at finding the win-win solution in a situation. So this could be someone coming to you and like Sagittarius, I want to be with you, I want to date you, or I want to take the next step, or whatever it may be. But here's my expectations. Here's what I need out of the relationship. What do you need out of the relationship? What are your expectations of me? So there could be some like opening up of communication, like good, constructive communication, like where you're actually getting somewhere and you're understanding each other and you're coming up with agreements and plans. Sometimes this could also be consulting an expert in a situation. And so maybe you're thinking of like going to a dating coach, those of you who are single, or those of you in a relationship. Maybe you're thinking of incorporating some kind of counsel, like maybe like a wiser person or older person in the family, or like a minister or something at your church. Some of you might be maybe thinking of bringing someone into the relationship and helping, to help with communication. Sometimes this is a card that comes up for me in readings when you're dealing with someone who is like super logical, super practical, and they're going to show their affection or their love for you by coming up with solutions. And it can be frustrating if you're looking for someone to comfort you. So some of you may be dealing with a person or dealing with a relationship where you just kind of want to vent. You want to vent to this person. You want to let them know how stressed you are about things, or you just want to come home at the end of the day and have someone just kind of hold you and, oh, they're there. I'm sorry that happened. Oh, you don't deserve that kind of thing. But the issue with the King of Swords is he's going to give you a solution to that problem, and then he's going to feel like there's no need to talk about this. Like, why are we talking about this again? Like, if you're unhappy at your job, quit your job, find another job. It sucks until then, in the meantime, but that's the solution. You're having issues with certain family members, they're treating you bad. Well, don't answer when they call you on the phone, or don't spend time with them. And you might be like, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, King of Swords person. Right? It's a little bit more complicated than that. King of Swords doesn't understand that. So this can create an issue in the relationship where you feel like they don't care about your feelings, and they may feel frustrated. Like, why are we, like, we could be happy right now, we could be bonding, we could be, focusing on the relationship, but instead here we're talking about all of the negative things that are happening when we don't need to be dealing with them because there's a solution to it. And so there can be frustration on both ends. One person is feeling like You don't care about my feelings. You don't want to hear about what I'm going through. You're never reassuring. You're never comforting. And the other person is like, I want to spend time with you. I want to focus on us, but we're just talking about all of these lousy people or lousy situations, and we're not focusing on us. And so this could be a disconnect in an existing relationship for some of you. There could be this aspect for some of you, and this is where the miscommunication is. This is where the misunderstanding is for some of you in an existing relationship. You feel like this person doesn't care. The way that this person cares is by looking out for you and trying to come up with solutions to your problems, and you just kind of feel like, oh, but you're not hearing me. And so this can become a huge misunderstanding, an unnecessary misunderstanding. But the good thing about the King of Swords energy is King of Swords typically wants to work it out, like wants to talk about it, wants to find a solution. So there could be something here of like clearing up misunderstandings for some of you Sagittarius. The next card that's coming up here for the collective is the Nine of Wands. This could be a sense of defensiveness. Some of you are going to have a King of Swords energy coming in where your partner maybe is wanting to take the next level in a relationship. You're talking about the next level, or someone is approaching you if you're a single Sagittarius and they're like, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you. Like, I'm serious. I'm not just talking about killing time here. I see a future with you. And so the Nine of Wands can be like a defensiveness. Like we feel like, gosh, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should go this next step with this person. Or maybe you've been single for a long time and now you feel ready to get out there and date, but you're like, I'm just terrified I'm going to pick the wrong person. I wish I could just go to a psychic and get a reading, and that psychic is going to tell me my person's zodiac sign and where and when I'm going to meet them and what they look like and the first initial of their name. And in that way, I won't choose the wrong person. It doesn't always work out that way. And maybe some of you are like, I wish I could get a reading, but I can't get a reading right now. And I don't read that way. I don't tell people, oh, it's going to be this zodiac sign. This is their first initial. I know some readers do, but I don't read that way. And some of you are just wanting that. You're just wanting somebody to tell you, but for whatever reason, you've had readings, they haven't come out true in the past, or you can't get that reading right now, or you don't know what to trust, and so you're just so scared that you're going to pick the wrong person, or that you're going to give somebody a chance that you shouldn't give them a chance. Nine of Wands reminds you, Sagittarius, that this is not your first rodeo. Every single one of these wands is someone who came after this guy and attacked him, and he was able to wrestle that stick away from them, win the battle, put that stick behind him as a token of victory, as experience, as a gained tool, as a gained resource, and he's still standing. He's still got this fight left in him. So Nine of Wands reminds you, you have seen every dirty little trick in the book. You've seen every lie. You've seen every manipulation. There is absolutely positively nothing new under the sun anybody can come at you with. So as long as you're staying alert and you're paying attention to the red flags, you're not going to choose the wrong person. You're not going to fall into the wrong situation, because you're going to say, oh, I know this. I've seen this before. No, thank you. And you're going to be able to nip it in the bud very quickly, rather than getting all caught up in some crazy, intense roller coaster karmic entanglement that goes on and off again for like 10 years. You're not going to fall into that kind of thing again. You're going to be able to make the right decisions. You're going to be able to let the right ones in. Okay? There could also be here something in a relationship where you're trying to get somebody to do something. Maybe not giving them an ultimatum flat out where you're saying, you need to do this or we can't be together. Or they're telling you, I need you to do this. This is really important to me. They might not, like, I feel like somebody is wanting something and saying, this is really important for me. And the other person is like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that, or I don't know if I'm ready to do that. I feel here in this instance that this will be a deal breaker. So if you're the one that's really kind of trying to get somebody to do something and they're not sure about it, ask yourself, am I cool with losing this person or losing this relationship if they don't see things the way I'm seeing things right now, or if they decide that they don't want to make the change I want them to make, or vice versa. You know, am I willing to lose this person over taking this particular stand in this situation? Um, because the thing about the King of Swords isn't going to come in all emotional, all angry, like yelling, shouting, demanding. He's just going to state something as a matter of fact. Maybe this is you. Maybe you're communicating in this way. The problem with someone who communicates in this way is, unfortunately, sometimes people don't realize how serious he is. Just because, and I'm saying he, but it could also be a she. So maybe I should switch to they. People don't realize how serious this person is, how serious they are, because they're not coming in yelling and shouting and demanding. They're just saying, hey, this is really important to me. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get past this, right? This is a really big deal for me. And then somebody thinks, well, they didn't get upset, they're not angry, they seem pretty cool about it. So, maybe you have to listen to the words. Don't look at the volume, don't look at the animation, listen to the words. The person is telling you calmly with their words, this is a big deal. Or if you're the one communicating that way, you gotta let this person know, like, look, I'm not shouting, I'm not yelling, that's just not my style, that's not how I'm coming into the situation, but I need you to hear my words. Like, I am serious about this. Like, this is a make it or break it for me kind of thing. Because I feel like somebody is not understanding the seriousness of this stance. There's a desire to talk about it. There's a desire to kind of work it out. What can I do? How can I make it easier for you? How can I, show up in the situation? What do you think is a fair trade? Like, if you do this for me, what do you want me to do for you? Kind of thing. But it does kind of feel make it or break it to me. There's room to negotiate in terms of like trading. You give me this, I give you that, but there's some kind of like almost feels, I'm not gonna say ultimatum, but like this could break a relationship in a situation. Oh my god, oh, I just got chills. Oh, I just got chills. Those of you who watch my readings, holy cannoli, you've heard me say the Knight of Wands for me is like an ultimatum card sometimes. Nine of Wands could be somebody who comes in and out of a situation. If that's the case, Nine of Wands tells me you're not entertaining this person. You're not letting them back in, maybe because you're with this King of Swords person now, or you're in this King of Swords energy. But I feel like the Knight of Wands is really confirming for me there's some kind of an ultimatum here. And with the Nine of Wands coming in with the Knight of Wands, it gives me a feeling in the sense that, like, this decision needs to be made soon. This isn't something that is going to go on and say, oh, well, we'll just be at an impasse for it for a while. We'll just kind of forget about it right now and we'll come back to it later. No, the decision needs to be made soon. I would say maybe within the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks maybe. This decision needs to be made about what you're doing, and if you're gonna make certain agreements or compromises with this person. The good thing that I like about it is I feel sometimes like with the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands can be like demanding, or it's like my way or no way, but the King of Swords aspect softens this, because it's like, I understand you're doing something for me, and it's only fair I do something for you. So you name your price. You tell me what you want from me. To me, in this way, I feel like this is really healthy. And I have to say congratulations to those of you who are in this dynamic, because to me, it tells me you've manifested a relationship with someone who cares about your feelings. In this particular situation, you might not be seeing eye to eye in the situation, but at least this is someone that realizes, hey, if you did this for me, this is like a sacrifice on your part. So it's only fair I make a sacrifice for you. So you might say, I'm not sacrificing anything, and you have a right to do that. But at least this is somebody who is willing, right? Like they're not just coming in and saying it's all about me. It's like, well, this is what I need, but I'm willing to do something for you. The next card that's coming up for the Sagittarius collective is the Three of Swords. This is a challenging situation. It's like kind of like you don't know what to do. You're feeling kind of sad about this. You're feeling kind of heartbroken about this. Um I don't know if gosh, this just got really deep. Um this is I don't want to get too much into this cuz I don't want to trigger anybody. And I don't want to go off in this particular topic, but it is coming up, so for me it's like if it's coming up I have to say it. I feel for some of you the issue here and the disagreement may be around terminating a pregnancy. You know, maybe somebody got unexpectedly pregnant and one person is wanting to terminate, another person doesn't want to terminate. And so this could be like a crossroads in the relationship. And I think even if you are the person who's making the decision, like if you're the person who's pregnant and you're the one deciding to terminate the pregnancy, there's still going to be a sense of loss. There's still going to be a sense of sadness. Like, I don't feel like this is something that the person is doing and then they're like, woohoo, yay, it's done. Oh, I'm so relieved. Like, it just feels like a very torn feeling about it. And I know when I used to work the psychic hotlines, I don't know why, it was just the oddest thing to me. There would be some nights I'd be logged in waiting for calls to come in, and back to back, I would get phone calls from women who wanted a reading around like having terminated a pregnancy and like, did I do the right thing? Did I make a mistake? What would have happened if I had kept that pregnancy? Some people would ask, is this child mad at me? Is the spirit of this child angry with me? And like, just like things like this. And I've seen that a lot of women in this situation have had a really hard time like healing after the fact. And I think this could be the disconnect where maybe somebody is deciding to terminate a pregnancy, and then the person who fathered this child, like maybe they're not happy, or vice versa. But I feel like the person that wanted to terminate the pregnancy is having a hard time emotionally and like wanting to be comforted or wanting to be soothed, and the other person might be like, well, you're the one who decided to do this, like why are you acting sad about it? Like they're not understanding that this was a difficult decision. This is not going to be the case for every single one of you. Obviously some of you are like, nope, not, I'm not in that scenario. But I do feel for some of you there is this aspect. I feel for other ones of you it's just about sadness, just points and sources of sadness in your life where you're wanting some reassurance. And this other person is just feeling like, well, if you're not happy, then why don't you change it? Or vice, like one person is in this mindset and the other person's like, if you're not happy, then why don't you just change it? Someone's needing comfort here, someone's needing reassurance, and the other person is just kind of like, well, you're making these decisions and you're the only one who can stop making these decisions. The next card that's coming up here, oh gosh, holy cannoli, what did I tell you guys? I said that this was going to be like an ultimatum kind of situation. Here we have the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is like, pick your battles, choose your battles wisely, because this is a situation that is kind of heading here towards, this is a situation that's kind of heading here towards like the burning of bridges. So this could be a relationship with someone where it's like, look, like if this ends, this is ending in a way where like we're done. We're done. We're not talking. We're not staying friends. And the King of Swords aspect to me makes me feel like, and maybe it's you, Sagittarius, who's in this energy, but it's like I've been nothing but fair. I've given you nothing but chances. I've given you nothing but compromise. I've been willing to negotiate, but we're going round and round again about the same thing again and again. And I can't do that anymore. So something needs to change or we need to part ways. That's the feeling and the vibe this I'm getting here from the Sagittarius reading. You might want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign. Those might resonate for you more, or they might add a little extra information and expand upon this particular reading. It might give you more information and expand upon it for you. But I feel here there's something that it's kind of like we need to address this, we need to resolve this, or we need to walk away from each other. And if you walk away from each other, the Five of Swords is telling me that this is it, this is done. Like there's no staying friends. Again, I would check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus, because I feel like there's more to the story, and I feel like whatever the more to the story that is going to kind of depend on your placements. I think this relationship could be salvaged, but I feel, Sagittarius, the ball is in your court, and you're the one who has the power to decide, are we going to continue or not? Like, it's up to you. Like, you have to decide, is it worth me making this change? Is it worth me taking these steps or putting in this effort? Or do I feel like this particular person or this particular situation is not worth making certain sacrifices? You know, maybe you don't want to make those sacrifices at all. Maybe you might be thinking, well, maybe I'd make those sacrifices for the right person, but maybe this isn't the right person. And so you have some reflection to do. You have some thinking to do. I think whether or not this relationship continues or whether or not this relationship progresses is up to you. I think Sagittarius is the one who's going to make that decision. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. If you want to check out the other love readings for the month, I do have a link in the description that will take you to the love readings for the other signs. If you want to check out the weekly forecasts where I talk about everything other than love, those are also linked in the description. And if you'd like to schedule a private reading with me, there's a link in the description that takes you to my scheduling page, calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. I have also decided that through the month of November and mid-December, I'm going to set aside 10% from the income that comes in from the private readings, and I'm going to buy toys to donate to Toys for Tots. I don't know why that idea has never occurred to me before, but it just came to me, and it's something I feel moved to do this year. I will share with you guys. I'll take pictures of all the toys I end up buying and all of the toys that I'm donating so you guys can see. But if you're wanting to get a private reading and if you like the idea to contribute towards that, go ahead and check out the scheduling page and see which reading options look good to you or may work for you. And don't forget to check out the daily messages on the channel. I do a daily card every day on the channel as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous November. Hope to see you in the dailies and weeklies. Take care and be well, my darlings.